Like out of touch. I'm out of touch, but I'm out here when you're not around. We're gonna start every one of these singing for you guys because they're so great. Easy Awakenings, welcome to episode 7. Hello. Ooh. Child? No. Things are gonna get easier. No? No. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
confidence.
Yep.
Not cockiness. Confidence.
Yep.
How to grab life by the cojones and show the world. Even if you don't, maybe you don't have cojones, that's okay. But how to grab life by their cojones and do your thing.
The metaphorical cojones.
The metaphorical cojones. You can research cojones if you don't know what cojones means.
Yep. So, yeah, just approaching life with some gusto, right? With some feeling.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't really have a lot to do with what, the material side, I guess, or the form side.
Yeah.
But it has a lot to do with the feeling side.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's easy to sort of sit by and let life pass you by. It's easy to sit by and let life pass you by. That's I'm gonna go for the copyright it. But no, that we're here to kind of help you find that confidence inside of yourself. I think that's a big topic for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have it. A lot of people confuse confidence with cockiness. I've been to a few places. We'll talk about this a little later on. A lot of people will sort of assume someone who is confident is cocky when that's actually not the case. So,
yeah. Because someone who might be outwardly confident or seem to be confident may actually have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's actually it's not real confidence, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And our society as well. There's that where someone is projecting sort of a shallow form of confidence, and that would be the cockiness. We'll define the difference later on.
Yeah, and using material objects to kind of convey confidence, right?
Right.
Nice car, nice body. Yeah. Who knows? Nice girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. I was also talking about there are a lot of people that will confuse someone who actually is confident with being cocky.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something with that as well, where there's a desire in people to sort of to pull you down, to birds of a feather, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone likes to make sure that they don't feel like they're beneath someone else and that sort of thing. The ego does, anyways. Not everybody.
Yeah.
But both forms, those are both things we're going to touch on today. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I guess. Yeah, we'll get started.
We could talk about the definition, right, of confidence.
Exactly.
So,
what is the definition? Should we ask Alexa?
Go ahead.
Alexa, define confidence.
Confidence is usually defined as freedom from doubt, belief in yourself and your abilities, or, alternatively, a feeling of trust in someone or something.
Thank you, Alexa.
Alexa, thank you.
So what I like especially about that definition, actually...
You say you're welcome. I'm sorry, keep going.
Is freedom from doubt, actually.
Yeah.
That is, as far as my own inner confidence, a lot of it has to do from freedom of doubt.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Doubting yourself is, it can be very detrimental in a lot of situations. I mean, if you doubt that you know something... when you're not sure that you do, that's different. Of course, you're just being honest. But to doubt yourself when you're quite capable of handling something or even giving something a try, now that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's important to not get caught up in that. That can become a behavioral pattern where you sort of get in that mode where you're always doubting yourself. That a lot of people don't feel that they're worthy. They don't feel that they can do something. Or be with someone, or achieve, this or that. So.
Yeah, and the unworthy part, has a lot to do with your ego and the way it just sneaks in there.
Oh, yeah.
And when something doesn't go right, then that's like the perfect time for the ego to get in there and really start
Oh, yeah.
you know, kind of creating that own self-doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you become a participant in it. So
Yeah.
it's at that point where you become the participant in it that you start to actually doubt yourself even more,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of dig your own hole.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we want to share with you is to kind of avoid those pitfalls.
Yeah. No, there are. It's almost, it can be a very addictive quality to or behavioral modality to be stuck in this place where your ego is always telling you that you're not worthy of something, that you're just not good enough, basically, and a lot of that is rooted in fear. Because it's easier to stay stuck in knowing, because at least that you know that you won't be doing something, than it is to try and to be out in the open and full of uncertainty.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that you want to sort of tackle.
And we've said this before, the ego is not evil. It's not your enemy. It's not something that you have to crush or anything like that. So just be aware that it's there, and it's actually a way to actually, it basically tells you to wake up. So anytime you get caught up in the ego, it's basically saying, hey, and that's actually a really good jolt to get you out of there. So
And I guess
I just like to, whenever we talk about the ego, I like to mention that.
No, I think that's a smart move.
It's like a common misconception to, the ego is my enemy. I have to crush it. I have to destroy it in some way.
And that's something that the ego wants. It wants an enemy. So funny enough, it will mask itself as you pretending to fight itself. Yeah. And so when it has that sort of mirror reflection fighting itself, it actually strengthens itself. It might create this image of you that feels like it's free of the ego when it's actually itself sort of doing this sort of internal battle, churning up all of this energy and just feeding off of it like a parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is very important. I think that's a good thing for us to always mention. Always remember,
the ego is not your enemy.
The ego is not your enemy. Oh, that's cute. That's good. That's a good book title. Yeah. But yeah, so that sort of leads us to the next question. So where does confidence come from? If confidence is not your ego, if it's not that cockiness that just sort of is compensating for the sake of self-serving itself, and that would be, the flashy cars, the chicks, the proving that you can do all of these different things just for the sake of proving that you can do it. That's cockiness.
Yeah.
That's serving itself to show how big it is. Whereas confidence is different. Confidence is not self-serving. Cockiness is self-serving, and these are things that we, I think, want to differentiate from. Making sure that we know the difference between when your ego is being cocky and when true, deep inner confidence of actually knowing or being trusting yourself to handle something or to experience something, even if you don't know it. That's the difference in that.
Yeah, and I could say I actually learned a lot about confidence from you.
Oh.
Actually. Yep. See,
that's
really
cockiness.
But the thing is you were confident, but it wasn't like cockiness.
Yeah.
The thing is you had you were very down to earth at the same time.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So you believed in yourself, but at the same time, like what I really noticed about you is you tried to celebrate everyone's abilities, things that they would do or they were proud of themselves. You were just really gung-ho and kind of ready to cheer people.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's not common. So,
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody to be confident, but at the same time, like root for your friends.
Yeah.
To do well, because when you on the road to try to be confident, you may get stuck into wanting to like surpass your friends.
Oh yeah.
Or those around you, or people that you work with.
Yeah.
So and so's got a better car. I got to get a better car. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that, of course, arises from insecurity.
Right.
It doesn't arise from confidence.
That's that self-serving thing we're talking about.
It is, yeah.
Where you're trying to boast yourself up to prove that you're good enough.
Yeah, and that's actually an easy awakening in a way.
Oh yeah.
If you notice that in yourself, you gotta kind of go, okay, I gotta go back and kind of check out what I'm doing and actually the energy that's supporting my my actions.
Yeah. And it's important too. So let's say you do have that attitude where you are doing these things that are self-serving, like going out and buying the flashy cars and you know, getting the hottest chick that you can or the hottest guy that you can just to prove that you can do it. And again, there's nothing wrong with having those. I like nice cars. We all love beautiful people, you know, or whoever you deem to be beautiful.
Yeah.
These things, there's nothing wrong with attraction to attractive things, okay? Or whatever your heart's desire may be. It's just understand the difference between your mere attraction to it and your desire to attain it to prove to others that you are better.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference in that.
Yeah. Do you want to want more than you want to have?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, are you that kid on Christmas where you unwrap your gift and then you get the next one and you throw it to the side?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And that's like a common theme, but we often do that to people, and we often don't see that we're doing things like that.
Oh yeah.
You know? That's why they call it being unconscious, right?
Yeah.
Being asleep.
And there are varying degrees of it. So there are times, so like a good way to test to see where your ego may be is ask yourself, do you have the common habit of getting things and then all of a sudden losing interest in it? So I had my cousin, actually, he asked me about this, you know, he says, how do I discover? And I said, well, you know, if you're always chasing after it, if you he asked me if he said he was constantly encountering a situation where, you know, he would want to be with a girl and then he would end up with the girl and then lose interest in it. And in women, I think it might be harder for a lot of women to sort of understand that. With men, that is a common occurrence within men, and it's not like it's an intentional habit within a lot of guys. There are just some raw assholes out in the world, and we can't cure that. But within a lot of guys, and if you're a guy and you're experiencing this,
And they're important too.
they're important. They're on this earth.
Assholes.
Exactly.
They have a purpose.
You have a hey, you take care of but yeah, no, I mean, if that's the case, if you find yourself going through that, then that's just, it's a good indicator that your ego is taking charge on it. You're not confident in yourself. You're doing it to sort of obtain this this sense of security through having. And that's just a good reminder that you don't really, you're not as in touch with yourself as you really think you are.
Yeah, we're going to end up losing anyways at some point.
Oh yeah.
So that confidence, when you have that inner knowing, and you do lose things, you're not going to lose yourself at the same time.
Yep. So I guess that brings us to the greater question: how do you attain true confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it would start, I think, like we've talked about this before, really from within. You know, going within, sort of checking out what's happening inside of yourself, noticing your thoughts, feeling sort of any emotions that come up. That's very important. Self-inquiry is very important.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I really believe that's the root of self-confidence.
It's funny, because you saying that made me think of something. So the best way to obtain true confidence is actually to surrender the need to have confidence.
Yeah.
So get rid of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Fail completely. Be rid of all of that need to be on top. And then it's almost like you're comfortable at the bottom. You have nowhere else to go, and you're sort of at the bottom as you rise your way through life.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah, it's not really even overcoming something, although it may seem goal-oriented.
Yeah, right.
And you could kind of do certain things to build up to it.
Right.
You know, whether it's meditation or, you know, listening to Tony Robbins, because I mean, I did martial arts in my life. I still teach martial arts. I really enjoy it, but you know, I'd watch a Bruce Lee movie before I would train, and I'd get freaking amped up, dude. I'm like, I'm ready to train, you know. Yeah. But the thing is as I got better and better and more self-confident, like kind of assured of myself, then I didn't need that so much anymore.
Yeah.
But if that helps you, that's totally okay to do that.
Sure.
It just can't be the dominant thing.
Yeah, right.
Right.
One of the other things too is, being okay with failure. So like you have to explore failure in every facet possible. Find a way to be comfortable in that zone of making the mistakes. If you can't handle it's like roller skating, right? If you can't handle falling down, you're going to be so nervous when you're skating that it's going to screw you up. You won't be able to stand stable, and you'll always fall down, funny enough. But if you can handle falling, become a master at failing, and you'll become a master at success. I mean, really.
Because you become a master of getting back up.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And you have to fail. Skilled people aren't impervious to failure. They understand why they fail.
And you can hide a lot of those on Instagram, just so you know. You can hide a lot of those failures. So.
You can hide a lot? What do you
okay, so sorry. I'm gonna go into that for you a little bit.
You got it.
Well, you see people on Instagram, you see their Facebook life.
Yeah.
And they're the bomb. They're doing everything's a success.
Yeah.
How many posts are where people go, oh, I messed up today. They're mostly, posting stuff. So please don't take that as their true life. Because we all have trials and tribulations. We have failures,
Right.
And we have those moments of self-doubt. That's totally okay. And that's kind of what our channel's all about, is showing that real stuff. Because it's the real stuff that trips you up. And we're trying to get you familiar with that real stuff. Because I'm going to go back to martial arts, on this for another analogy, but when like somebody was punching to me in the face, I would go, I'd freak out, or I had a bad habit of shutting my eyes when a punch came to my face, My instructor's like, what are you doing? The punch is coming straight to your face. The worst thing you could do is shut your eyes, right? But I'll tell you, I got comfortable with punches coming at my face.
Okay.
So that's kind of how life is, you get a little bit comfortable with the failures,
right.
or messing up or tripping, falling. You become more comfortable with that. That's not something where you get so comfortable where you just stay down, right?
Right.
You're getting back up.
Exactly.
So whenever that punch would come back, and then I would kind of reposition myself. Then I would feel a lot more confident.
What's that thing? You master the art of failing, you know? And how do you do that? You know how to get yourself back up.
Yeah, failure is such a dirty word.
It is. It's so taboo. And that kind of goes into
surrender. Right?
And people figure surrender means giving up. No, it doesn't mean giving up. Surrender means surrendering to what is right now. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender means surrendering to what is right now. So accepting what is right now, and then finding a solution if you need to find a solution.
In a very non-reactionary way.
I mean, if you have to give up, then give up. If that's just the position you're in, then sure. But that's not what we mean by surrender, surrendering to the present moment, right? Surrendering to the present moment, again, if the present moment shows you that you, are suddenly poor, well, fighting the fact that you're poor won't make you rich. In fact, it's just going to give you a massive headache. The best thing to do is what? To find a solution.
That other way is just getting into the hole deeper and deeper.
Exactly.
It's hard to dig yourself out.
And that brings us to another great point. So how do you get up after a fall, especially a hard fall? Small falls are easy to get up after.
Yeah, those are actually the best ones to practice with. Smaller falls.
Smaller falls,
even tripping up or dropping something on the ground, that's actually a good indicator. If you drop something, do you go, fuck? To look at your reaction, that's actually very important. So if you're overreacting on that, then that actually is a good place to begin with. So whether it's that or you missed your exit, I've done that. I've gotten mad. But how do you regroup? Right? So how do we regroup?
Well, depending on the case, I think some of the more emotional cases, I think in terms of relationships, those can be some of the greatest cases that we have. Especially when you're young, right? You go through those experiences of the person that you wanted the most doesn't like you. They don't like you the same way, or they
Yeah.
cease to like you the same way, or they find interest in someone else.
Yeah, I saw my worst self ever in a relationship. Probably ever.
Yeah.
Maybe that ever was. I don't know.
So all that insecurity is coming out. So I mean, how do you? Or let's say you haven't even been able to find a girlfriend, right, or a boyfriend. It's just, that position can be one of the hardest to bounce out of, because you when other people don't like you, you can feel like your self-worth is at zero, because of our humanity is so rooted in a pack mentality, which is okay. Our egos naturally turn to others for validation.
Yeah.
So to get back up, for one, you have to understand yourself. Understand that, for one, it's just your ego that's looking for the validation to begin with. And number one, if someone's turning you down, or if you failed, then you just weren't ready, or it's just not meant to be at that time. And that's not even some sort of hairy-fairy kind of, mystical nonsense. What I'm talking about is just, the fact of the matter is, things didn't align themselves in the way that they needed to be to succeed in that position, because either the other side wasn't prepared for you, didn't want you, didn't need you, or you weren't in the position to fit in with whatever the circumstance was. So if it was a person, if it was a male or female, if someone turns you down, you don't want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you. That's just not a good idea. Or maybe they just need time, or maybe, fill in the blank. But fact of the matter is, right now, no. So accept it, and then take a look at yourself. If you feel like you're not worth it, is that really true? Yeah. What makes you not worth it? The fact that someone else doesn't tell you you're worth it? So all of your worth is within that other person and their words?
Yeah.
Of course not.
They're going to leave eventually anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Someone who's trying to get out of there will find a way out of there, or you'll be stuck together and miserable. Forcing someone to be with you because you feel empty without them is a horrible reason to be together with someone.
Yeah.
Because you will be clinging on to them like a clinging on to them like a cold virus. Like you're a virus because you're used to it and you don't know what it's like to be well. So you're just holding on to the virus because you're scared of the unknown cure.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that kind of caught me early on, as far as confidence goes, is that self-acceptance, or that acceptance by other people. But then when you fall in front of other people, it could be really magnified.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I would practice, for instance, so whether you have a literal or a metaphorical fall, you almost have to pretend or imagine yourself alone. So nobody's around you.
Yeah.
You really have to go in and regroup within yourself, and really just rely on yourself. Don't worry about anyone else around.
Yeah.
Because that is the compare. I could compare that to, I guess, to being on a tall building and looking down. Right. So the best thing they usually say is what? Don't look down.
Don't look down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's almost, you don't look at other people. If you look at their face,
Yeah.
and they look disappointed, well, that is going to affect probably your
Oh
psychology.
yeah. Yeah.
So if you could do things like that to avoid their gaze or whatever, that's actually really important to go into yourself. If you can leave the situation, I think that's very important too. And regroup, breathe deeply. Go to the bathroom.
This is where those meditation methods will come in handy.
Yeah.
And again, practice the meditation before. That's why meditation on a daily basis is an amazing thing, because it will help you out in all of these situations.
It does.
It will put you in a better spot, so that when you do encounter embarrassment, failure, anger, you will find a better method. Your head will be clearer and more able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Chewy's adding his take, and I agree with him. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come on. Come join the podcast. Come here. We want to hear. Okay, he's gonna tell you. Come here. Come on. This is what confidence looks like. Chewy, give us the confidence.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. You tell us. Yes, that's right. Well, I don't. What? Oh, yeah. Confidence. Confidence. Yes. Yes.
You're right.
What else?
You're right.
Well, yeah, I agree.
You're right.
Hey, you didn't agree with that, Victor. I don't know.
I was agreeing with him.
This is the master of confidence right here. All right, little buddy. Okay. Okay. Now that we have Chewy's take on the subject matter, let's go through sort of a quick recap. So, belief in oneself, ability to inspire others, being 100% okay with who you are and what you can do, understanding the difference between confidence and cockiness, and aware of own faults and does not try to hide them.
Yeah, and I would add is regrouping within a short amount of time after something happens.
Yeah.
After that fall, as it were.
I think what we can do, we can go into like different subtopics in a later,
Sure.
a later episode for
Yeah.
We're figuring that out. So, all right. So where does it come from? I guess that's sort of a recap on what we already had.
Yeah.
We went into that already. Accepting of not knowing. Yeah, accepting. There's a lot of acceptance in there. Ability to acknowledge the fear and still move forward. I think that's a big one to understand. Acknowledging that you're afraid.
Yeah.
So here's a good thing I've always thought of is the difference between a hero and a coward is not that the hero doesn't feel fear. Fear is felt by everybody. The difference is that a hero will move forward in spite of his fear, whereas a coward will always run away from it.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. And those are just terms, coward, hero.
Yeah,
but
don't take it too hard or anything. Going, well, I ran away, I'm a coward.
Exactly,
I run away too. So.
I mean, it isn't to say like in face of a bullet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a hero.
Take you down.
Save your life and keep safe. But in terms of like situations when faced with difficult situations, if the natural inclination is just to turn and run away, I guess it's that fearful aspect that's taken over from you if you're always running away from situations.
Yeah.
So if you're in the state of running away, avoidance, not dealing with difficult topics and subjects or situations, that's what I mean by that. Whereas, someone who has sort of that confident modality, you are still dealing with the fear. You will still have fear, but you're willing to deal with the fear, but still embrace the situation and deal with it in whichever way it may come about. You may have to run away, you may have to avoid, but you're still dealing with the fear in here.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, because it's the situation usually is just a surface thing, and it's usually a deeper issue, and going deeper is always the better thing to do.
Yeah.
Feeling that fear.
Yep. So finding people that are of a healthy and supportive mindset. That's huge.
About that earlier.
Well, this guy too. So just
But I was talking about that earlier. One of the things that I noticed when we met.
Well, I definitely know that I've always been willing to go forward and to handle things. But let me tell you something. Having someone like you here with a very stable, calm mindset. And someone who's always so willing to just be there and provide the kind of peace that this world fucking needs, man. That helps to keep my head cool. Because as we know, there are different personality types, and there are different behaviors and mindsets. We want to sort of step outside of ideologies, but we all have ingrained patterns within us, and you're not just going to be able to shed them out and be rid of them permanently.
Yeah.
So, like for me, sometimes I do get a little wrapped up. Like I'm often so eager to accomplish and to tackle things. I've got a lot of energy. It helps when someone's a bit more grounded and rooted and can be there as like a serious support beam. That's huge. And that's what you mean, having someone there who can support from either the perspective of, you can do it, man, let me give it a shot, I think you're that, or someone, I think you're actually really good at this, and always finding the positive in situations, such as yourself. I mean, I think that's That's very, very important to have, and that's what you call a true support group.
Friends.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends.
But it's important. It's very
Yeah.
important to surround yourself
Yes.
with people who are uplifting.
Yeah, notice the people who are not uplifting in
Exactly.
your life too.
Exactly.
You may not be able to do like a clean break with those people,
Right,
right? I
right.
mean, i.e., family and such.
Oh yeah, close
You
friends,
know,
family.
and
yeah.
we all have kind of family things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That
Oh, yeah.
kind of can bring us down.
I sure do.
But having a support system,
Yeah.
and they could be your family too. I have support system in my family,
yeah. Oh,
outside
yeah.
of my blood related. I mean, he's my family basically, but you know what I'm talking about.
He don't have friends. He's got family.
But yeah, noticing like
You can have a beer. Any beer as long as it's a Heineken. You guessed the movie reference. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
That's all
What are you
right.
talking about?
so it's kind of like knowing what's kind of wrong in your life to kind of fix what's wrong in your life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Who you're surrounding yourself with, the confident people as well as the people that can ground you. But you still have to be on the lookout for those that are actually bringing you down.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes they hide, like the ego, because
Yeah.
remember they're only acting through their own ego.
Yep.
And it's easy for them to hide through like a friendship or
Yeah.
some sort of family role or family relationship.
And sometimes they'll use those as almost like as ammunition to stir the pot a little bit. Like, oh, you don't want to be around me, huh? You think
Yeah.
you're too good, or you think this or that, or they'll find things that like valid seeming excuses to bring the drama back. Mm-hmm. Often through justified anger or frustration or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and you may be listening to this now and go, what the hell does this have to do with confidence?
Yeah.
But this is the little shit
Yeah.
that catches you off guard.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Is that thing where, if we show you the ugly side,
Oh yeah.
the easier you can kind of deal with that. It doesn't seem as ugly. But
Right.
this has a lot to do with confidence.
Well-
because this is the stuff that's going to trip you up.
Often people with like those intense negative personalities, and it's not just someone who's just caught up in something negative, but reoccur that
We all have our moments.
when you're sort of when you know it, you might be that person when there's always that negativity, when you can feel it just soaking up. Either it's just pulling you in with some form of sadness or constant grief, anger or frustration. If it's always there, those are the mindsets you gotta really watch out for. And again, you might not be able to just avoid them completely, but know it's there, know what it is. And how this plugs in is those types of personalities almost 100% of the time are not uplifting. They do not lift you up. They're not, you know what, let's get out of this rut.
Yeah.
Let's feel better. And that's what you need. At the very least, until you're able to sort of hold the flame on your own and be confident and always revert back to the confidence once you've lost the confidence, that inner self-confidence.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily have to love what you do, but they love you.
Exactly.
So that's like the number reason to celebrate.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
Yeah.
of that, and wanting to see that person happy,
Mm-hmm.
and confident. Because honestly, when you're like that, you actually end up attracting things like that,
Oh yeah.
right?
All big time.
Yeah, you open up the floodgates in a way, and they're the ones that are actually going to be able to hold you up.
Yeah.
Or lend that hand, bro. Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pull you up. Get up, man. Come on.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, just imagine how much better the world would be, if people were just 30% more of the world's population was uplifting and inspiring, for you, not just for themselves, but to be there, to say, hey, look, you can do it. Give it an honest try, or whatever the case may be, That would be.
It's crazy the way life is, you know.
Yeah.
Different points of my life where I was not just feeling low, but when I found like moments of clarity, and then I would start to pursue, or you could call it seek, from a truthful place.
Yeah.
People appear out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, that was something I was thinking of too. Is that sometimes when you do start to get on that path of getting yourself into the mode that you want to be living in, you will notice people naturally sort of fall off. They will fall away.
That's true.
That's okay. It might hurt your ego when you see that, because these might be people that are very close that sort of fade away. If it's meant, if they sort of snap out of it and they're ready to come back, they'll do it on their own.
Yeah.
Don't force it. I'm not saying don't keep in touch, but I'm just saying let them kind of fade out into the natural order that they need to go in, and that could be very healthy.
Yeah, if you keep in touch and it makes you feel good, then so be it.
Exactly.
But if you're keeping in touch and keeping something going for the sake of keeping it going, or if it doesn't make you feel good, maybe that's definitely a sign to just let it go.
Oh yeah.
Because it's going that route anyways.
Exactly.
So.
And that works in situations too. Often situations will turn themselves into the place that they need to go to.
Yeah.
And you might not understand it, you might not know why it's happening, but get into that mode of surrender and to what is right now, and then you will discover solutions. It's amazing how it happens, actually. It's kind of weird. I mean,
it does. You just have to be in it to know it.
You do. It's like the zone.
And you'll understand it.
Like someone like Michael Jordan used to always talk about this. He'd get into that zone and he would be able to do amazing things.
Yeah.
And again, that comes with skill and practice and failure. But that zone of true confidence, it's an amazing thing. And life just kind of helps you out in weird ways, and just keep it going, man. Keep that practice up. So.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that about does it for today on confidence. Thanks for watching.
I feel more confident
after watching. After talking about this. But don't forget to like and subscribe. That stuff is really important to our channel. It helps to grow, and we are in the baby stages of the channel, so we're always looking for new subscriptions, and it's pretty early on, but please like and subscribe and share the hell out of these things.
Yeah, if you're inspired, please share that inspiration with others, and you will actually grow that sort of feeling in abundance when you do that. So share.
We will see you guys next time.